Hey everyone, it's Kay, and for today's swatch sesh, I am featuring Caitlin Swatches' collaboration with Cracked Polish. Now, I am like 1000% sure that you know who Caitlin is, but in case you don't, Caitlin is a nail polish swatcher right here on YouTube. So I'm going to put her information somewhere on the screen so that you can go check her out. Now, aside from Caitlin's collaboration, we're going to be taking a look at two bonus shades, the December Jelly of the Month, and also a few other extra little things. Before we get into it though, Cracked Polish, they are the sponsor of today's video. Cracked is 10 free, they're cruelty free, and they're also vegan in case you like to support these things. So let's go ahead and check out the polishes and then we'll meet up for my final thoughts. Squish Squish. Let's kick off the sesh with a bonus shade. This is Squish Squish, which is described as an emerald crelly. However, as you can see, it leans quite blue. So this is not a polish that will immediately remind you of green, in my opinion, when you look at it. So just a heads up there. Now let's talk formula. I think Cracked made a smooth landing right in between Creme City and Jellytown because they made this perfect hybrid crelly formula. And lastly, I do have to mention the self-leveling power. The formula is clearly comfortable in my nail bed. It found its spot and it just accommodated itself accordingly, giving me a nice, glassy, smooth end result. Carbon Copy. Carbon Copy is our next bonus shade. This is a black jelly and I am here for it. Some of you may know that the closest thing to a black jelly that Cracked used to have was Dark Like My Heart. However, that is a charcoal jelly. So as a jelly lover, it's really exciting to see a black jelly drop. And the sheerness here is so good, you guys. I've noticed that usually Cracked focuses on more of the buildable types of jellies. However, I do feel like this one is acting like a true jelly should with all that translucency. So calling all true jelly lovers alert. Okay, this one is really gonna satisfy your need for a visible nail line. Don't Teal My Thunder. This is the last polish before we get into Caitlin's collaboration. Don't Teal My Thunder is December's Jelly of the Month, which is described as an emerald teal color. Now, this one may remind you of Squish Squish, but once I'm done swatching, I'll make sure to do a side-by-side with both polishes so that you can really see the difference because it is visible. This polish self-leveled beautifully, which to me is really a priority with jellies, and I can still see some visible nail line. Not as much as with Carbon Copy, but it's peeking through for sure. Let's compare this one to Squish Squish, which is on the right. You can see how Don't Teal My Thunder leans more green while Squish Squish looks a lot more blue. So remember, both of these have 2-coat application, and because Don't Teal My Thunder is a jelly, the nail line is slightly more visible. Both of them still have that squishy appearance and both colors are beautiful. It's just a matter of if you like blue more or green more. It Must Be Magic. All right, let's kick off the Caitlin Swatches and Cracked collaboration with It Must Be Magic. Here we have purple particles making magic with linear holographic particles, which you already know I will show off soon. I would never rainbow starve you. Before that though, let me apply this second coat. This formula has pretty good coverage, but I definitely recommend a second coat just to make sure you perfect everything and don't end up with any weird spots. So here we have it under normal lighting. This polish looks like a beautiful shimmery polish with a grayed out purple tone. You might see some slight hints of hollow, but For the full effect, you will need that sun power or just a strong direct light like I have here. And suddenly we confirm the magic. We are in the presence of it with those mesmerizing rainbow colors moving all around the nail. This shade of purple is a little edgy in my opinion. It really does remind me of gunmetal with a really nice purple glow. Radical Compassion. Let's turn our eyes towards Radical Compassion. Here we have a magenta colored base, and within it there are very fine purple aurora shimmers and flecks of pink glitter. Now, first coat coverage is decent. This color is very saturated, and I was actually surprised that it didn't stain my nails, even though I don't wear base coat when swatching. And now that I finalized my second and final coat, we can see the end result here. Notice how the purple shimmer comes through in a glowy manner, making the glowy area appear a little bit more like a fuchsia color. And I was also curious about how this one would transform under strong direct light. I think the biggest difference here is the reaction of those pink glitters. You can see the tiny rainbow pops across the nail, but when it comes to the rest of the formula, there's not really much of a difference other than the colors becoming more vivid, right? So overall, I appreciate how they threw in at least one very bold option, which really does boost the energy of the color story here. Mind Like a Diamond. Moving on to Mind Like a Diamond, which is such a perfect winter polish because it has that cold appearance thanks to those blue shimmers thriving in a clear base alongside silver reflective glitters, which I'll make sure to highlight soon. Notice the sheerness that we have here though. This is a very delicate polish. It's not meant for boldness, but it does give you a really pretty blue sheen across the nail, and even under normal lighting, you can still catch a pretty clear sight of those silver reflectives. My end result here is after just 2 coats, and I do suspect that this can work nicely as a topper in 1 coat. Just keep in mind that the blue shimmer might take the dominant role, and that same shimmer does shift to a purple color under more indirect lighting, elevating the visual interest at extreme angles. If you were to move to strong direct lighting, you're gonna get those nice little pops of silver, which kind of look like glass or ice, especially when you have that blue sheen across the nail. And keep in mind, the reflective element here isn't excessive, but it is noticeable, and I do think that it's just enough to add a nice sparkly touch with or without strong direct lighting. That's how the light gets in. This is the polish that I have been waiting to talk about. I fell out of reality for a moment. When I saw this polish, it was just a bit unexpected because I think this was one of the last polishes that I unboxed, and with everything else in the collection being like more pretty and more gentle, then this one comes in bursting through with its dark prism aesthetic. You guys, I had a moment, but let me lock in. So what we have here is a black jelly base filled with pink, green, and purple iridescent flakies, and we also get a touch of silver reflective glitters. Look at how everything comes together. I am obsessing like hard. It looks like there's scattered hollow in there. Maybe that's just the silver reflective glitters. I'm definitely seeing some pops of rainbows. Overall, this polish just has a great balance of sparkly elements, and when it comes to the color story, it's truly an excellent twist and perspective that still fits the theme perfectly. Sparkle Forward. Sparkle Forward is next up in the sesh. I do love how all of these polishes maintain that really sparkly quality as a main theme. And with Sparkle Forward, we get a soft lavender base, nicely fed with blue and pink shimmers. And once again, we do get a silver reflective element in there as well. So this one is similar to Mind Like a Diamond in that they are both quite gentle looking and subtle when it comes to the color. The real pop of color here comes from those shimmers, which cast this soft blue sheen, while the lavender acts as a nice gentle canvas on the background. Now, I did apply 3 coats for this one since I was looking for a little bit more color payoff, and this is yet another option that I think can be used as a topper. Under strong direct lighting, I'm seeing scattered hollow in the mix, even though it's not actually noted in the description. But it is nice to find these little surprises, which I'm definitely not making up, because that bottle right there is filled with rainbows, especially in this shot. Now make sure you take a look at the tldl collage so that you can see the differences between this one and Mind Like a Diamond. I also wanted to show the Have a Sparkly Day sticker. It has a holographic border that is so cool. It's also a really nice size and thickness. This sticker I feel is gonna be yet another one that I will refuse to put anywhere because it's too pretty and I can't commit to keeping it in one place forever. Lastly, make sure to check out Crack's charity polish called Snap Back. This is a deep blue crelly with a hint of purple filled with orange to gold shifting shimmer. Now $3 from every bottle purchased will be donated to Nourish Pierce County. There is a link to Nourish on Crack's website in case you want to learn more. And those were the swatches. What a swatch sesh for me. You know, it's not often that each and every bottle that I swatch feels like a little bit of magic. Honestly, this collection was excellent. I feel like this time around, if you watched one of my previous videos, I feel like this time around I was definitely in the targeted audience. I have been targeted and I have been fully acquired. And if you have also been acquired, then this next piece of information is for you. So the full piece set is gonna drop for $65 USD. Sorry, I was just checking if my mic was off. Can you imagine if I was muted this whole time? Anyways, you can pick up the individual shades for $13 USD. Now, the Sparkly Day sticker is going to go for $3 USD, and the bonus shades are going to go for $10 USD. Again, all of this drops on Friday, December 26th at 11 a.m. EST. Yes, that is correct. If you only had money for one polish, then I think you kind of already know what I'm gonna go for, but here is a recap. If you had money for one, I would go with That's How the Light Gets In. If you had money for two, I would go with It Must Be Magic. And if you had money for one more polish, I would throw in Carbon Copy, especially if you like jellies. Everybody needs a jelly, a black jelly in their collection. And that is it for today's sesh, but I'll see you again very soon. Thank you so much for hanging out and checking out this super sparkly, beautiful collection with me. Thanks for tuning into my little channel. I hope you have a great day. I hope you have a sparkly day, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching so much. Thank you for watching my video. Thank you so much. Yeah. Thank you.